This is like very informal, just a way for all of us to have something to look forward to. I'm so appreciative that Alishia hopped on this call. She was like the first one to volunteer when I put the call out. And even though she is our color expert, she was like, oh, well, I do this all the time. This is my life. Like, I feel like I'm a great person to show this because she's not doing this behind the chair every day. She's doing it to herself every day. So she can relate to some of the points that you guys might have and be able to answer any questions. So I will hand it over to you, Alishia. I'm unmuting you. And
all right, perfect. So I set my counter up just the way it is on a normal morning, and I let my hair be the way it would be. Like Erin was saying, I worked out earlier. I tied it up in a scrunchie and just let it be. So I did not prep my hair for this. This is what I would wake up with or finish like my morning running around. So it's just a soft scrunchie. Like you guys were saying with pulling it back, you don't want anything to be too tight, anything with metal bands, anything like that. So my hair is dirty. The only prep I did for this, I blow dried my hair on Sunday. So Sunday, it's Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday. So this is actually day 3. I probably won't wash it again until this Sunday. So I wake up, it's everywhere like this. So beautiful. First thing that I'll do is dry shampoo. So if you have that, a lot of times people think it's really gonna wash your hair. It doesn't. The purpose of the dry shampoo is to soak up any kind of like leftover oils. So if you feel like you can kind of smell your hair or it's feeling oily or it's just feeling a little bit flat, that's where the dry shampoo comes in. So the first thing I would do, you guys weren't listed to have this on here, but if you have it and want to use some, go for it. And you're just gonna spray it in at the root. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to clip it. Just kind of section it because you want it to hit your head, not like hairspray overall. Like you want it to actually hit your scalp. Shake that through, and then I always brush through it just with, I use a dry wet brush. And look, even after just doing that, it's like already a little bit more tame than it was. So if I was like super in a hurry, I might just do the front pieces, or you can kind of like manage it and make it look presentable without doing everything. So it's prepped and ready. I do the my amazing blow dry secret spray. That's what I use as my heat protectant. So I always put that in wet before blow drying. And then I'm not going to do it right now because I'm about to put my iron on. I would do that earlier in the morning, so it's already on my hair. So that's where you want to do the heat protectant. If you have a different one, just a light, you want to do like a light mist. You don't want anything to be wet where the iron is going to like singe it. And the next thing that we're going to do is you take the time to separate your hair. You don't get lost in what you're doing, like the pieces that are curled or not curled. Just get everything out of your way, whether you use a scrunchie or a hair tie or a little clip like this, you just want to kind of separate it. Fran brought up a good point holding up both of her irons. You don't want an iron that's too big for the length of your hair. Her hair is just about my length, and this, I believe, is a 1 inch, maybe a 1 1/4, but it's not like gigantic.
Yeah, that might be a 1 1/4.
I think it is a 1 1/4.
In between, yeah.
And I have mine set right in the middle at about 350. You want to make sure it's not super, super hot. Mine's at 350. My hair's thicker and it's coarser. So if your hair is finer, I would suggest staying kind of around like 300. If there's a temperature setting, on your iron, you want kind of like in the middle or slightly lower, especially when you're kind of getting the hang of the motion. That way it's not too hot and being held too long in one place. So, all right, everybody's caught up. Everybody that I can see has their hair kind of like mine. So, take a sip, thumbs up. And I'm gonna do around the face first. And I do those for two reasons. A, you can kind of see, right now you can see me better, but if I'm in a hurry, I want around my face that I present myself with to people, I want that to be the most polished. If I have like a messed up, gnarly piece in the back, no one's really gonna see it. You just shake the curls down. So you wanna take a piece that's about maybe 1.5 inches back off of your face. Push everything else back behind your shoulders so you just have that one piece and kind of smooth it out with your fingertips a little bit. All right, good. Everybody have an iron or does anybody have a wand? Hers looks like a wand. All right, so I'm gonna do, Fran, if yours opens up your curling iron, because you have the clamp, you don't wanna let it ever clamp totally shut like that. Like keep it just a little bit open as we're going. Because if you put it in and you clamp it down hard, that's sometimes where those lines like show up. Where you can see like a hard like iron line. So you want to hold the hair out and we're actually going to put the iron in the middle of the hair. And we're going to go back away from the face. And turn the iron. Like your iron should be up and down pointing towards the ceiling. And Erin, I'm going to show you with the wand. Yours is going to be a little bit different. So you're just going to, and see these little pieces here at the end? We're going to just let them stick out. Now, Fran, that's good. Don't pout. That was very good. Do that in the middle. Now let go of the piece of hair, yep, and just slowly turn your iron and let the hair weave its way through. Yeah, perfect. And now just let go. Perfect. Let it stay like that because it's going to cool down. We're not going to leave it like this, but when you heat up the hair, the way the inside of it goes, it like softens the bonds, and then the cool air will hold in it, which is going to help the style last longer. So Erin, I'm going to jump to the other side because you're going to kind of, with the wand, it's just a little bit different. And you can always use a curling iron as a wand, you just don't open this part. You just leave it like a hot stick, just like a wand. So Erin, you're gonna hold your hair out same way, but your wand is gonna face the floor behind the hair. And then you're gonna wrap the hair back that way. Yep, and then just hold the ends a couple seconds, and then just slowly pull it out. Perfect. Same thing, let it cool down. It looks a little silly like that, but once it cools down and we kind of brush everything together. There you go, Fran.
Yeah, I think the point with you saying, you know, like don't brush out the curl right away. A lot of people are really eager to not have that tight ringlet and look like how you look right now, but
right.
know that it's setting when
right.
you're keeping it like that, and you can deal with what it looks like after.
Megan, you got it going. Yeah, Mary, yours is good too. There you go. And Mary, I think the only small adjustment you would want to make, go back away from the face. And so it looks like you have that piece coming like towards the face. Yep. Very good. I'm impressed. Look, Erin's got her down with that. Fran, so then now that you have a curl piece, you just reach back and you grab another piece. And the trick sometimes is smaller pieces that get done quickly instead of big hunks of hair, because then the heat doesn't get to the inside and you have to keep picking up and getting the same pieces. The same thing. In the middle. And I guess I probably count to 5, if I had to guess. Unless I'm running late. Then it's shorter.
Yeah, you guys are looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Very impressed.
And I like how the wand does that on yours, Erin. And then Mary's got the flat iron going. Keep twirling it. Yep. Yeah, just like that. Very good. And sometimes when you're doing that with the iron, because the hair can kind of lose control, if you have to, hold the hair, like after you do your first round of it, hold the hair up here while you keep feeding it through the bottom part.
I know a lot of people too, they sell those little like heat glove things. If you're trying for the first time, that's a great thing to have too, so you're not so nervous about burning yourself. I know a lot of my girlfriends have the little 2-finger things, so that might be something that it's worth investing in as you get comfortable, so you're not so afraid to really get in there.
There you go, Fran. The ones that you're on now, they're the tough ones because you can't really see. Yeah, but you're doing it. Yep, just keep the iron feeding the hair like that.
I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when I get to the back of my hair, because it's so thick, I don't know if I should like split it into like an upper and a lower, or if it's okay just to start it halfway like you were saying before.
As long as the section's not too wide, like this way, like take a skinnier section this way, but take it all the way down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's just not so much hair in your hand, but then you can get from here to here done in one piece. Yep. Yeah, and then Fran, just you want to go away from the face.
I have a hard time.
Because
I'm
it's
not,
like backwards.
yeah. And then holding the thing open so that it doesn't clamp, but still let it to turn. Does that make sense?
It does. Maybe try if you let it close, but let it close slowly. See if that's helpful. Just so it doesn't like clamp down and make a hard line.
Okay.
Yep.
So let the hair go.
Yep. And now let it close kind of as you're moving the iron a little. Yep. Exactly. Now go up a little closer to your, roll it up a little bit higher.
Yeah. There you go.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, it's the way you...
Is that your awkward side? Where
Yeah.
it's like this one is a little more comfortable?
Yeah. I'll try it again.
Well,
Do you think I could try it without opening the
Yeah.
clamp?
Now point it at the floor then.
All right.
You're going to point it at the floor and the hair's, yep. Exactly.
Like that. And now,
Yep.
and then pull it up.
Yep. You hold it for a couple seconds. Yep.
Is that better? All right.
Well, just don't burn yourself. Don't burn your arm. Excuse me, I can't get you through the computer.
I'm sorry.
There you go, Mary. That one looks good in the front.
That's easier than opening.
Look, Megan's got hers on. And Megan, you can do this with your natural curls. If your hair is like naturally curly and you wake up and it's just like needs a little polishing, you could just pick up little pieces of the curls and wrap them in the wand, and then it will just polish the top layer of your curls, and the underneath will blend right in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Because like, I know you get that like top layer that gets a little flat. Like I know you get those pieces, so that's actually it's really good for you to like touch up only a few and then rock the rest that are
Or
natural.
you get like the pieces that just like are limp and not as curly that day, or a little bit frizzy, just give them a little shape and blend in with everything.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I haven't used a wand in like a long time.
I know, I'm so excited to see you like being all like into beauty. This is like
I know.
very exciting for me.
Yeah, Mary, you got the hang of it now. Where you're keeping it spinning. That's good.
It feels like it gets caught.
Like you can hear the hair stuck between the plates.
Well, I just can't twist anymore. That's better. Maybe I'm not brushing it out enough before I begin. Let me try that.
Yeah, try that and see if it makes it like a little bit more slick. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, it is.
I think also the big part too is, and I don't know if you would agree with this, Leash, but at least in my experience, having hair that's a little bit dirty is going to be so much easier to work with than curling like freshly washed hair.
Yours is going to be too slippery.
Yep. So you're going to get a lot more like grit with a little bit of that dirty hair, and it's actually going to be a lot easier for you to do. And then you can go further in between your shampoos, like how we were kind of talking about in the beginning.
Exactly. Good, Fran. And I saw you switch the direction too. That's good. All right, so once you have that one layer is done, you're going to jump up again another inch and a half and make yourself another little ponytail on the top. Or clip, or however you're separating it. Yep, and then this is part of another reason that we leave those curls there, because now you can totally tell this hair was curled, this one needs a little love. So then you're going to know that this is the section that you're going into next. It's about an inch back off your hairline. Yep, yeah, that's good, Megan. You're not back too far. That's good. Yeah, because once you practice the moves and the motions like this, once you get the hang of it, this is the fastest way to style your hair.
And I think it also ends up being less damaging because once you get it done once, you don't have to wash and then re-wash your hair, restyle it again. You're only going to be picking up a few pieces and retouching them rather than doing it. So it's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of heat damage on your hair. And you're going to be able to, and then every day it's going to look a little bit different, which is great because it's going to look like you have a whole different look every day when really it's just your curls falling in a different way. So I think that that's a really big part too. And when you're not using all that heat, you're not washing your hair every day, you're not pushing out all of that beautiful color that Alicia's doing for you. It's, you know, every time you wash your hair, that's another opportunity for it to eventually go down the drain. So the least amount of time that you're affecting it with heat, and then the least amount of time that you're washing it is going to be able to keep that color protected longer, which I think is also huge.
There you go, Fran. That's perfect. Megan's got hers good, and they're the hairs that she can't see. And then Mary's is coming along. Yeah, it looks good.
Good you can't hear me because every time it turns out nice, I go, ooh, pretty, or ooh, that's so nice.
I love it. Because before you know it, you'll just be able to whip them out without even thinking about it.
Yeah, and for those of you, if you're using the computer as a mirror, I'm like very impressed because I was trying to teach last night how to just clip my hair in the computer, and I was like, wait,
You're like
what
that.
side does it go? Like it's so if you have a mirror near you, grab it. Don't feel like you have to use the computer for this. It's gonna be, you know, it might be easier facing a mirror.
You
And
can
don't get discouraged. I actually, the kind of wand that Erin is using, I'm a professional. I ended up having to give my wand away to a friend because exactly what Bryn was saying, I kept burning my armpit. Like holding it down like this, I kept burning the bottom of my arm. And finally I was like, I've had enough. I can't do this. So don't
I just burnt my hand.
get too hard on yourself or get discouraged.
You can also switch the view on your Zoom so it's a mirror image instead of the opposite.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have mine set on mirror so I can use it.
Nice.
Ah, that's why you're so good.
Good to know. And then you guys also feel free to ask any other like hair questions that are on your mind too, because between the two of us, we can both answer whatever you need as well.
Yeah, that's perfect, Megan, where you're the way you're smoothing it out with your hands before the iron hits it is perfect. And I'll wait for everybody. The next thing I'm doing is just taking out the pieces around my face.
Once you get good at this, how long do you think it would take to do your head?
I can
Oh,
do
wow.
mine in about, so pretty quick. All right, are we good? So this, I always do these front pieces again, because then if I have to look at the clock and skate away, around my face is done. And these I always smooth out really good. Erin, how you were saying with running and salvaging it, if you need to, a little trick, you can use your iron and just tap the front pieces. If you get like the little pieces that go like crazy, when you hold it smooth and just kind of tap it, they'll smooth those right out. And these pieces, I kind of direct them a little bit in front of my face. That way, like this area right here is going to get that bend around the face. So rather than hold it out like we've been doing, I kind of pull it just a little in front of my face. And then do the same motion, yep. This one looks perfect, Mary. Yep, and then just, after it falls, let it cool down, just like that. Because then what we could do at the end when we shake it out, you can go in and get, like, if it looks a little too thick or a little too straight in one spot, you can just take a little piece of that section and make that a little bit more defined or look like a little bit more of a wave.
I think another good thing too, like while you guys might find yourself having extra time, is practicing working with the iron either on like the lowest heat setting. So then again, you're not afraid to really get in there. And it's more practicing the movement than it is putting it on your hair. Because then if you're holding it on there for longer than you should, you're not damaging your hair. So either with the heat completely off or with the heat on its lowest setting, where you might not get the result that you want, but you're getting the practice of the motion of what you're doing, if that makes sense.
Oh, Megan, yours is looking good. Oh, that was my shelf, sorry. I'm just gonna make sure you don't have any like knots or snarls in there.
Yeah, and I also like, Leash, how you always just do it once and you don't try to fix it right in the moment. Like you just let it go, you don't touch it, and you fix everything afterwards. And I think that that's a really big piece too, because I think people get so hung up in getting it right in that second, and they just keep going over the same piece over and over again. Mm-hmm. And that's when you're going to start curling your hair in 9 different directions, and it's not going to be able to stay.
And that's when the heat kind of like overdoes it.
Yep.
Fran, I'm impressed. These are getting good. Now yours, that top section right there, is that part of your bangs a little bit?
Yeah.
Is that what we might have to do? Pick up that piece.
All right, hold on.
Sometimes when they're shorter, because the barrel of the iron is so big.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think.
See, nobody else has bangs but me.
Let's see. I'm gonna make some bangs for you. So the way you have, that's my son. Can you hear him?
I know. Do we get to see your kids?
Oh no. You might actually. I shouldn't be so confident.
Coop can bring his whoopee cushion.
He may right not have clothes on. So with the bangs,
yeah.
Because the top of like a beachy wave look is a little bit smooth anyway.
Okay.
You just want to like blend them in. So you're going to want to kind of clamp them and just give them a little bit of a bend and slide the iron right off. Be able to use this kind of technique and really salvage and get creative with making your hair look polished without starting over with shampooing. And then it creates like a little texture. You may be able to get a day with like a low wavy ponytail in, or just a little bit clipped off of the side of your face.
Can you, why does fine hair, Bryn's laughing, old Catholic, that's all I can say. Why does fine hair need to be washed more? Is it just it shows the dirt more quickly?
No, it's because your hair texture is a little bit finer. So there's not as much there to kind of soak up and distribute the natural oils coming from your head. You're just like feeling it a little bit more.
Did that curl or is that just flat?
Does that make sense?
Thank you.
But then sometimes it becomes like a cycle of chasing that, like my hair gets oily too quick, and then the overwashing makes your body produce more oil on your scalp. And you're washing more to get rid of the oil, and it's making more oil because you're washing it more. So sometimes it's like the kind of like switching up the behavior and giving it a chance to regulate itself.
I really try not to wash it. Like I try to wash it every third day. I go for that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Do you have a dry shampoo, right? Or a powder dry shampoo?
No, when I saw you with what you did, I want to get one.
It is game changer. Yeah. And for your hair, it actually gives the illusion of a little bit more texture and grit, even though it's not, that's not its intended purpose. It'll make it feel a little bit more like a texture spray almost. Yeah. What the job of the dry shampoo is, it just absorbs some of the excess oil.
Yeah, no, that sounds, I really do want to get some.
What brand do you use?
They're all good. I like the Kenra one, which carries the salon.
Unleash, do you have any tips for like reaching the back of your head or anything that they can kind of?
Not reaching. I would get more confused with a mirror behind my head, so I just tend to reach back. And I look on the side where I can tell, like, this already has a curl to it, that I already hit that piece. It was totally straight, I would know, and then I just make sure it's pulled away from everything else. So I don't need to see it, just kind of like feel
I have a question.
Yep.
Do you have any suggestions of how to sleep on it? Like, do you pull it up in any way when you sleep, or?
I go up in a loose, just like a loose ponytail. I'm like you, I like it off my face when I'm like doing whatever stuff at night or watching TV, whatever. And then I usually pull it out when I sleep. So I usually just have mine down, but everybody's different. And then I just smooth out the stuff in the front. There might be a better answer, but that's.
I can chime in on what works for me because I have natural curls that I always want to keep in shape. We talked about this last night too. Sleeping with a silk pillowcase has been a game changer for me, and I think that it would also help with this technique just because it's less friction, there's less rubbing, it's more of the gliding. And then also I don't have my clips down here, but I have these flat little metal clips, almost like little perm clips. And what I'll do, and what's really helped me, because I used to sleep every night, like Alishia had, with a pony on top of my head to kind of keep my curls intact on top like that. And then I found that it was disrupting them a little bit because I'm pulling them all up. So actually another client who has curly hair suggested that I do this like clip method.
To try it.
Try it, Alicia, and let me know if it works for you.
Yeah, I will. Because this, like now that it's just done and wavy, like you can see this side's sticking up a little bit more. At this point, everything has cooled down. My hair's thicker, so I use a drop of like a shine oil. And I just run it on the ends, anywhere that would be like a little bit frizzy. Like Megan, your hair could probably handle that because of the curls. Fran probably would be a little bit heavy for yours. If you used one, you would want to go just on the very ends. And I just rake my hands through the ends, shake them up a little bit. Sometimes I'll rake through with my fingers. If you need something to move at the top, if you kind of massage your root area a little bit, you can get it to just change directions.
Everyone looks good. I'm like very impressed.
I'm super impressed.
I can't do my hair, and I own a salon, so.
Your hair always looks good.
But I can't. It's because I was born like this.
Well, that's what you know how to do. And then anywhere like right there, I feel like it's a little bit flat. I'll just pick up one tiny little piece. And just do like a finishing piece. And that's it.
Yeah, I think the biggest part of this is definitely the motion.
Right.
Because that's the most uncomfortable. And like you guys could probably see Alishia, she makes it look so easy. Like how long have you been doing this?
Forever. I've really probably been wearing my hair mostly like this at least for the last like 6 or 7 years.
Exactly. And you also went to beauty school and this is your profession.
Right. So don't be hard on yourself. And if you can, like Erin, your hair is longer. If you do, like Rachel that works with us, she will put her hair in braids when she sleeps. So you're taking out the heat and the time of the blow dry, and then she wakes up with braided wavy hair, and then she'll just polish some of those pieces on top of it.
That's such a good idea because I sleep with braids all the time, but I never thought to just like touch it up.
Yep.
With a wand. That makes so much sense.
Because once, yeah, like now that my hair is done like this, tomorrow, if I woke up and I slept on it and just this was smushed, I would comb it all out and I would just do this part. Like I would pick a couple key pieces and just shake it all back together.
You think?
I think the biggest part too is that like, and we were talking about this in the curl session last night, is like letting go the idea that your hair has to look a certain way or that you have to curl it a certain way or it looks bad. Like it's gonna look different every single time, and that's fine. That's the fun of it. And just kind of go with where it lands, and it's not going to be perfect, but it's a practice like anything else. I mean, you didn't go to school for this, you don't do it every day, it's not your job. So just like giving yourself a little break, and just practice when you can, and you'll just get better at it each time.
And do it and leave it be. Sometimes I think out of habit, we want to keep fixing the same pieces because we're really trying to get back to the way we're used to seeing ourselves look. So sometimes when it's different, like Fran, right now, yours might feel totally different because it's different than kind of the more polished, like bob shape that you're used to, but it looks great.
Thank you.
It looks great.
And even just like taking it and like loosening things up and just like letting it fall where it may. I think at least that's the blessing with this whole quarantine right now is like nobody cares what I look like, but I can like experiment with different things now because I don't have to worry about like walking out and being judged by whomever. So like use the time to play if you have the time. Like this is a part of self-care.
I've been enjoying the no makeup part of this, I think, the most. It's like, it's nice. Like I love how Erin's parted a little bit deeper to the side. Like if you're going out for the night, do that deep, tuck that, not the side you just tucked, the other one, tuck that back behind your ear and put like a cool earring on. And that's like totally the look of what's in.
Yeah, everyone looks.
It looks good, Mary. You got the volume up top. I like that.
I had this over here and I flipped it over and that's what got all the volume.
Yeah, sometimes your hair dictates what you're going to do with your hair. So just kind of go with it. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, everyone looks good.
Was some of this helpful? Yeah? All thumbs up from Fran. I love a good thumbs up.
Do you guys have any other like overwhelming questions? Alishia, what do you finish with? What's your like?
I finished with either a lightweight finishing spray or nothing, but that's just because my hair is thicker. It tends to last a little longer with nothing, but I would do like a lightweight finishing spray. I like the V spray. It become nothing too crunchy because then the next day I won't be able to redo it.
Yeah.
But this, like I just sprinkled in the powder puff, like a texturizing puff. I think, Fran, you might have one of them. If not, this would be super good for you for any style that you're doing. It just adds a little bit of lightweight volume that's not sticky. Sometimes volumizing things can be a little bit sticky, so it just adds a little texture and a little bit of volume.
All right, cool. Well, we want to keep everyone's time, even though we are in quarantine. But so glad that we got to do this. I hope that it was a nice little piece of self-care for everybody, and really hope that you guys learn something new and that you take it as a practice, like I was saying, and really take it as part of maybe a little bit of self-care. Maybe once a week you just keep doing your hair for no reason because that's what you want to do. Giving yourself that time and space to do it, I think, is so important. And again, I really want to thank Alishia again for hopping on here. You know, she's home with her family too, and was the first to jump on it, even though again, this isn't her wheelhouse. I appreciate you, and it's been so fun for me to host these. I live alone, so for me to be able to connect with people and share a little bit of joy and also some self-care and make people feel good about themselves feels really nice for me to be able to do with the salon being closed, not being able to do, you know, what the girls do every day, and still be able to have something. So I really appreciate everyone coming. And Alishia, if you want to say anything as well.
No, I love this because same like Bryn said, just being able to reach out and connect with all of you so that you know that we're thinking of you just as much as you're thinking of us. We know that you can't wait to get your color done and get your hair done, but to be able to have something now when you have fresh, fabulous color, you have a different way to style it and kind of show it off and realize that you're beautiful and perfect no matter what. Like this, the things that we do to enhance ourselves, now we're forced to have them off the table. And it's like the bigger picture of life. I think it's just making everybody more grateful, nicer to each other, like paying attention to the big things, and then getting to see that like I miss my clients so much, and I'm like, they're not just my work, they're like part of who I am, like these relationships. So to see all of your faces and you take the time to jump on here is like so cool. So cool.
Well, thank you again, and I hope that you each have a wonderful night, a great week, all of that. This will be available for refund for you guys.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having this. Thanks, Alishia.
You're welcome.
Bryn, for getting it together.
No problem. Thanks again.
Anytime. And my husband thanks all of you because he's been looking at me in quite a ratty ponytail for 70, so he's got a new wife for the night.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great
Cool.
night.
I hope you guys feel
Nice to
beautiful.
meet you, ladies.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Good night.